WIIFTBP.
Reach the ruler. This is Week Ho Wednesday, and to my right is Everybody's Women Crush Wednesday. My co-host, the one and only Toy. It goes, love this show, y'all. I'm dealing with a guy. We have been dating for 9 months. In light of everything going on in the world, he has been voicing his opinion about situations, and I don't agree with any of his views. I love everything else except his opinions.
Damn.
How do I fix this? FYI, he's white.
It's about to be a white boy summer.
So could that be the issue?
For sure. Just come out different when it's not coming from your own race. It's just never been something I'd be like, oh, I date Bill.
I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill.
I don't really like light-skinned guys. I don't like pink
Yeah,
meat.
pink. So like it's like you see it.
Pink tip, it be pink.
And then pink on the
Yeah, I
tip.
don't like-
So sometimes a light skinned guy have a dark tooth.
And then it look dark,
And you-
so it's nasty off to me. I feel
now
like
you-
it's supposed to be pink because they light skinned. You know what I'm saying?
but
But I don't
because
want
it's
it to
not-
be dark because
because
then
it's
I'm going
not.
to say you dirty.
You sure looking good tonight, baby. I just wanna make sweet love to you tonight, baby. If you don't mind, let me tell you.
Hey there, sexy lady of my dreams. Can I have you here with me? I just wanna love you down. Yeah. I'm making you scream my name. Loving your body. I'll be kissing your body. And I'll be caressing your body. Oh, baby, just come on. Loving your body. I'll be loving, feeling your body. I'm gonna touching your body all night, baby. Now I'm about to fulfill your fantasy. So come a little closer, bring your body to me. I'm trying to take my time, I won't rush at all, 'cause you deserve the best. I'm gonna love, I'm gonna kissing your body until the morning comes. Caressing your body, oh baby, just come on, loving your body, let me feel.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone podcast. It's your boy, B. Foster. Brian Foster's in the building. Hey, welcome back to another Wednesday, 7 o'clock. I hope you all enjoyed my guest hosting of the Chris the Critic show, talking about those relationships, talking about that parenting, talking about those blended families. Your boy was a little vulnerable. He showed you a little inner piece of himself. I don't usually do that. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Tonight, we are going to be, I'm alone in the studio, as you can see. My folks abandoned me. Erica, Chris, Chantel, old stankin' asses. They're going to join me on the Zoom side in a minute here. But we are talking about Insecure and the latest episode and Insecure in general. Smith Jones in the building. So while we wait on them to get jumped in, let me start this really, really fast. This is a great episode. I'm happy to have Insecure back. Wonderful show. There was a lot of drama past couple of days about whether or not they should have allowed one of the characters to wear the symbols of my sister sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna put it out here like this. It's a character on a show portraying someone in a sorority or fraternity, given the circumstances. Loosen the fuck up. If you haven't been to a chapter meeting in 30 years, shut the fuck up. If you are not financial, if you do not have your active membership card, shut the fuck up. I get it. Copyrights. If y'all want to have nationals holler at them about some copyright infringement, do that. Let nationals handle that. But all this hand wringing, you've been on Facebook for 3 days talking about this shit, and you ain't been a chapter in 20 years. So clearly you got some time. I'm just saying, you obviously have some free time. Take your ass to your local grad chapter meeting. Make a donation if you're not gonna pay your national dues. God damn. Anyway, hey, my people jumped on. Sean and Chris, good to see y'all.
What's going on, man?
What do y'all think about this as a fellow fraternity member of the Divine Nine, Sir Chris? What do you think about this drama?
It's a storm in a teacup. Makes me no difference. It's a fake controversy. People bored, got nothing to do, attacking this chick. Now she's on IG talking about, people keep asking if I'm a soror, and I don't know why they're asking if I'm a soror. No, you know why.
Oh, you know why.
Asking. I mean, let's be clear. I mean, you know why. Don't act crazy. But look, it's not my organization, so I don't want to talk out of turn here, because we're dealing with a similar controversy ourselves with people not getting permission to use our letters and our insignia and that. But I mean, look, is this ultimately a big deal? Is it hurting you? Is it costing you anything? From the outside looking in at another organization, I'm going to go with no. And like you said, and I think we all share this in common, most folks are not active. Ain't been to a meeting, ain't picked up no trash, ain't handed out a coat, ain't passed out no turkeys for thanks. I mean, you pick and choose what you care about, and this is what you're worked up about. Give it a rest.
So here's what's funny about that, Chris. Earlier in this show, a couple of seasons ago, I had forgotten about this. Somebody had to bring this up. Her husband wore an Alpha Phi Alpha jacket on the show.
I remember that. Yeah.
Guess what I thought about it? Nothing. Not 1 second of iota of energy or thought was given to it. My man is playing an alpha on TV. I don't give a fuck. Now, if he was beating kids or raping a mule or some shit and had my letters on, now we gotta have a different conversation. But in this case, relax. It's no big deal. And I'm sure National sent a harshly worded letter, and I haven't seen it since, which is fine. But I was not bouncing around on Facebook for 5 days talking about shit.
And look, if we're being honest for just a second, look, these characters are not portraying, your kind of, they're not bums. These are gainfully employed, college-educated, upwardly mobile Black people who are portraying, and I think in their own way, or at least in the minds of the producers, kind of big-upping Black Greek letter organizations and saying, look,
exactly,
this organization is synonymous with success, with being solidly middle class, solid character, solid relationships. I mean, there are worse things. There are worse ways that you could portray Black Greek letter organizations. This is much ado about nothing.
Does Stanford even have an AK chapter? I don't. Anyway, that's whatever.
I bet they do.
I'm sure they do.
Matter of fact, they do. As a matter of fact,
I would love to hear their thoughts on this. Sean, not to leave you out. I know you are not Greek, but I'm sure you have a thought on this. Go ahead and expound.
I didn't know, as a non-Greek, if I'm allowed to have an opinion.
You are absolutely allowed to have an opinion.
I don't know.
Whether or not we give a fuck about it is a different conversation.
Here we go.
I'm gonna pull this apart a little bit. So the marketing aspect, them not getting permission from AKA to use the shield and use the letters, I completely and totally agree with. That is in and of itself is a problem. Setting that to the side, I do not understand why Greeks are upset that a fictional character that went through the process is being portrayed on TV by somebody who's not Greek. If Amanda Seals was going around pledging people, if she was going around throwing up the little pinky and doing the little hand gestures.
The little pinky, huh? Wow, that was very dismissive.
I'm sure it has a name. I'm not Greek. I don't know what it is. But if Amanda Seals was going around doing that, then I could see the uproar. I cannot. And I've asked a couple of Greeks because I just want to understand the perspective, and they made less sense to me. So I don't get it. I don't get it.
So, and I want to say this because I don't want my sorrows at my neck. My mother-in-law, who I love dearly, is an AKA. My boss, who I appreciate and respect immensely, is an AKA. One of my staffers is an AKA. My wife is an AKA. My daughter has no choice. She will one day be an AKA. I love you all. There's no doubt about this. However, y'all can shut the fuck up.
Damn.
But I just want to back up and shine a spotlight on the flex. One of my staffers is an AKA. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even catch that, Chris. Yes.
Yeah.
Chris will never let me get a not humble brag out. It's not.
He's so effortless with the flex. You really got to be on it. But I'm not mad at you, bro. Go. Hey, as the old folks used to say, go ahead with your bad self.
Go ahead with your bad self.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I agree with you, Chris. It's a storm in a teacup. I love that saying. It's much ado about nothing, and we won't care about it in 3 days. So we won't even belabor it now. We're gonna keep it moving. Let's talk about, and then we're gonna dive into some of our other categories, our favorite characters, and all that stuff later. But since we had to push this back and not have this conversation before the episode, we have now seen the first episode. I'm interested in you guys' thoughts. Let me throw one thing out there, and then I'm gonna go let Sean start it off. Did you all remember that they went to Stanford?
No.
I don't remember them ever saying they went to I do not remember them saying what school they went to. And I could have sworn that her and Issa and the boy, I forgot his name, Lawrence, they met in college. So I was a little confused with the whole Stanford thing. I
don't think she met Lawrence in college. I think that was post-college.
I obviously so, according to Sunday's episode, but I did not remember any of that. No.
Yeah, I did not remember they went to. Did you remember this, Chris?
No, not at all. I mean that was sort of news to me. Like, oh, really? Stanford? All of them?
Yeah, all of them. I kind of, sort of, vaguely remember Molly going to Stanford because I'm sure it came up in some meeting at the office or something. But I had zero idea that Issa garbage ass went to Stanford.
Damn.
The fact that she is such a loser, this exacerbates that situation. She didn't go to I don't know, USC even. It was a good school. You went to Stanford? You better get your ass together, Issa. What the hell's going on over there?
It's not believable. Let me just say that. It's just not believable.
Stop it.
I don't care if it's elitist to say that. It's just not believable that all of them went to Stanford. Particularly,
well, it would make sense if they all met. If that's where they met, then that would make sense. Now, what would not make sense is that they haven't gotten another friend outside of their Stanford crew added by now. But I can see it.
Well, she was friends with Condoleezza. That just didn't work out well. Anyway, so first episode, Sean, what were your takes? What were your immediate reactions?
Aside from the convenience store scene, I just thought it was okay. I thought there was a few missed opportunities for Issa to show some growth, but I guess that was the point. Like when she was sitting and at the lecture or not, whatever that was, where she was supposed to, be contributing the panel. She was a panelist. Mm-hmm. I think it was a missed opportunity for her to be authentic instead of being awkward. But again, that's the point of the show. But I just thought the episode in general was just okay. Nothing really stood out.
Interesting. I thought that part of the panel was maybe the best part of the show. And I'll say this because she was awkward, and that's how she starts, right? Awkward black girl. But she did have that vulnerable moment where she was like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is the road I should be going down. Every day is different. And as somebody that worked for himself for a while, I get that. You do have those moments. It's like, is this shit? I need to go get a real job. I don't know if this is going to work. And then you have those days of triumph where it's like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. So I think particularly because the other panelists seem to be down that road, their journey further, it was interesting that they even asked her to do it, considering she's done one fucking event.
And that was the other part about it, right? And who knows how long they've been in business. They're near Silicon Valley. They could have been in business a month. Who knows? But that was the other thing, that she had done one event and she's at this panel at such a prestigious university that just seemed, now that didn't seem realistic to me.
Yeah, that threw me off. But I thought that piece of her being vulnerable and honest in that moment, because she didn't have anything slick to say. She didn't have anything she could really lean on, and just being honest in that moment. I actually really like that piece. That's her not doing something goofy like she had done earlier, and just letting her be her. I kind of like that in her self discovery. Chris, I've seen some of your commentary. What do you think about this episode?
You know, I mean, I did say that it was a bit of a snooze, and I still say that. But, you know, every series, and Insecure is no example, has these what I call setup episodes, right? And I think this was that. I agree with you that the panel piece was maybe the most compelling portion of this episode, because this was, I mean, if you came out of the sky and you wanted to know why is this show called Insecure, all you need to do is watch this scene and you get it. Chantel makes a good point. Outside of her being an alum, not sure why she would be on a panel. I say this with no shade, but she's accomplished exactly nothing.
Zero.
So I don't know.
Dang, she at least accomplished 0.5%.
So she accomplished exactly nothing.
Nothing.
And,
damn.
you know, all she is, she's feckless, she's hapless, she's rudderless. And I'm being kind.
Ah, jeez, we started on Issa already. Okay.
She done moved up from being a clown this year.
Well,
to
you know
being
what?
feckless.
Chantel, I'm trying to change my lexicon. You know, I want to use, you know, I don't want to tear people down, but I still want to keep it a buck. There's no sizzle to that steak, none whatsoever. But I did appreciate that, you know, to the extent that she's able, she kept it a buck. She's like, yo, I'm haunted by uncertainty. I don't know. Maybe this works. Maybe it doesn't work. How many people are sitting on panels like that who really are thinking that, and who frankly are motivated by that, by the fear of failure and by the uncertainty, and knowing that people are really rooting for them to fail anyway. They won't tell you they are, but they are. But you're up there talking about, well, you know, I just focused and I looked with it. No, I don't know. Maybe this works. Maybe it doesn't work. I appreciated that. But the episode itself, it was a snooze fest. And I thought some of the elements were gratuitous. I don't want to, you know, get ahead of you, but the liquor store scene, stop.
Trash.
I mean, just stop.
Trash.
And yeah, and this whole thing about Kelly being dead by mistake, what was that?
Yeah, I didn't quite follow that either.
Was that supposed to be a metaphor? Is that foreshadowing? Is she going to die this season? I mean, what was that?
So I was having a conversation with somebody on the book, obviously on my side page. So I don't really know this person, but she was trying to go deep with it and say, I think Kelly was really dead, and that was her spirit they were interacting with and talking to and floating around.
No,
come on, y'all. Come on. So then her spirit went and did a Spirit World podcast. That's
y'all want to be deep so bad.
So bad. You want to be deep so bad. You swimming in a fucking puddle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you want to see past the obvious to glean this hidden truth. Fuck out of here. They made a mistake. Yeah, just stop. Please, you are not deep at all. Knock it off.
Now, I will say this, and I don't know if you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. One of my fave shows ever. Hilarious. Chris, I think you would appreciate Curb if you don't watch.
I don't watch, you know, I don't watch white-centric shows.
Oh, you should.
Frasier, you should watch Frasier.
And he's full of shit because he's a Homeland junkie. Anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't even get it out. I tried.
But what's funny about that on the following episode of the season premiere of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Mel Brooks, excuse me, he hosts his own funeral. He's still alive, but he wants to get his flowers while he's alive. So weird concept, wouldn't do it myself, but it is interesting. I would not mind going back to a homecoming or a reunion and people thought I was dead and they were like little tributes to me just to see what motherfucker said. It would be interesting.
Oh, I'm afraid I already know what most of them would say, and I would not. I would not want to be alive to hear it. Let's put it.
You have to bring a dictionary. To to give a appropriate eulogy.
Well, the
At least I
dictionary
would.
dies. The dictionary dies with me.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm about to say yeah. I think they would dumb it all the way down because Chris wasn't there to judge him. I think that's what
or they would just celebrate, like, finally we got rid of this dude. Like, what took him so long? I get it, because guess what? The feeling's mutual.
But I agree. The whole liquor store thing was trash. Though I do appreciated what they were trying to do, like having something semi-traumatic happen. Well, I get where they were going with it. Let me circle back to that, and I want to ask Sean this question. And we've kind of had this conversation, but I want you to say this on air. I doubt my biggest issue with the episode was the Molly and Issa dynamic. They haven't spoken in months. They had a huge blow up at her event. Fingers in faces, almost come to blows. And now we're walking around campus drinking beers, unloading our issues and worries again on each other. Although it's still a little awkward, it's happening. There was no conversation. I don't know if women are doing that shit. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it's that simple. I don't believe it's that easy. I don't believe it's happened. I've seen women cut each other off for wearing each other's shirt without permission. Now
Man,
they just jumping right back into a friendship. I don't. However awkward it was, I don't believe it. But give me your take on this.
And we did talk about this. Yes, this is. I think certain aspects of it weren't realistic. How like Molly went to Tiffany and was like, "How long does it take?" Normally, we're far more catty than that. We like, "Fuck that bitch." But aside from that part, yeah, we do try to run these very awkward, and it all depends on the relationship, right? Some people we do just throw away, and other people we do try to restart these relationships with. And the reason that it was awkward is because they had no conversation about what happened. Nobody was clear about what caused it. I doubt anybody said any I'm sorries. And they didn't have any next steps.
They hadn't talked into that bullshit bug. So they clearly no apologies were made.
So yeah, of course it's going to be awkward. You still walking around with those residual feelings that you never got to communicate, but you still have this love for this person. Yeah, you have these very competing feelings. So I think I shared this with you. I'll share it on air. I had a friend where we did this. We didn't talk for 3 years. And one day she called me like right before I had my daughter. And we started a relationship from there, had no conversation about why we didn't talk for 3 years. And now we're not talking again. So this speaks to the entire point that yes, yes, we do it. What you all saw is real life. It does happen.
Interesting. See, dudes, and Chris backed me up here. Dudes are different, right? It's like we'll get into a fucking fist fight.
Yeah.
Like we will tussle. And then that'll be like the clearing of the air, right? We might not have a conversation about whatever led to the tussle, but the tussle is at least how it gets cleared.
That's not healthier.
I'm not saying it's healthier. I'm just saying it's different. At least we beat like our anger and our frustrations onto each other, and that got vented in some kind of way. You all just hold it in and then do this phony rekindling of friendship. And I know for a fact, me and Chris are built the same in this. Like once we're done, there's no coming back.
Well, if you go back to a relationship with a friend, then you're obviously not done. And I think that's the point to get. Like they obviously weren't done with each other. If they were for real done, there would have been no coming back.
What I'm saying is I won't let months go by without hollering at my boy. If we get into it, we squashing that shit immediately. There won't be 6 months later and now I'm hollering at my boy. If I don't speak to you for 6 months, we're done.
Or y'all have no cooling off period?
As you once said to me, Brian, and this, I mean, if somebody said, look, you've got one thing Brian Foster said to remember him by, what is it? It's when you said, quote, I can't re-respect a motherfucker. Like, once the respect is gone, and I think that might be, Chantel, what differentiates, and I'm not saying it's better or worse, but I think that might be what differentiates men. Essential to a friendship between men, boys, is respect, right? So we can disagree, but I still respect you.
Right.
And I'm not above saying, like, if it's my guy and we don't talk for a while, I'm going to miss that. With Issa and Molly, to me at least, this wasn't as much about respect as it was, and Molly said it in the last episode of, the previous season, where they've outgrown each other. But I think more than that was Molly's reaction to Issa's lack of a dramatic reaction.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, like you're okay with me saying that we've outgrown each other? Like that doesn't hurt you? You're not devastated by that? And I think too, the occasion of their homecoming is what really set the table for them to be clicked up like that. You wouldn't have seen them at the Ethiopian spot, or you wouldn't have seen them at a bar kicking.
Well, clearly, because when Issa saw her at the Ethiopian spot, she turned around and walked out.
See?
Well, wait a minute. They ended the last season with them meeting at the Ethiopian spot, so let's not forget that part.
Did they? I thought she walked
Yes.
out of the Ethiopian spot when she saw Molly.
One of them was sitting there, and the other one walked in at the end of the last season.
And then she walked out.
Didn't she hit a U-turn?
A quick U-turn and drove off.
That was when she saw her, when Molly was sitting there earlier in the season, and Molly was sitting there, and Issa was at the door. She was like, "Fuck that," and walked away. At the end
of last season, it's been a while, so correct me if I'm wrong.
It was pandemic.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I thought she walked away. That the point is, yeah, women, and again, not trying to be on some battle of the sexes, but when women decide, hey, look, I'm done with her, whether it's because she hurt me, she insulted me, whatever, they're done.
I agree.
So,
that's why I said they weren't done.
Yeah, Molly, and I think they are, though. I think
they're
they are
done in the sense where their friendship can't be the same, but you have to internally say to yourself, I'm done with her. And they did not internally, or they not made the decision within themselves to say, I'm done with her. And I would even go further to say part of what creates that is people are trying to hold on to old relationships. Like you've known somebody for so long, you have a narrative in your head, like I've been friends with them for 20 years. There's no reason I can't still be friends with them. Instead of acknowledging you guys are different now. And the relationship you had, you just can't continue to have anymore because you all aren't the same people anymore.
That's a great point, Sean. I was thinking that the whole time in Vegas. Like, why do I still fuck with Shane? I should be done with this dude. Fuck those 37 years.
That's between you and Shane, sir. I got nothing.
37 years. Wow, that's crazy. You can't throw that away.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't.
But see, that's what we're witnessing, right? They've been friends for 15 years-ish. 15 years?
At least, because they knew I think. Oh, no, they met freshman year in college. Right.
Yeah, so we're looking at 15 years. Just like you said, that's hard to let go of 30 years. It's hard to let go of 15 years.
Have they ever actually been friends, though?
See, that's an excellent question.
Like they've kicked it. Like, okay, is it phony kicking it? Because from the first episode, like S1E1 at, what is it? Thomas Jefferson Middle School. Okay. Their first interaction was that kind of fake, I'm going to put you down, but you're my girl. But our whole relationship is rooted in these kind of petty slights and put down. That's not a friendship. That's not a functional friendship. That is dysfunctional at best. I think you could make the case that they were never actually friends, and that to the extent that they were, it was because Molly was reliant upon Issa's unhappiness and her tendency to self-sabotage to validate herself. And anytime Issa made even an incremental step away from that, toward personal agency, Molly would kind of bug out on her a little bit.
I would agree with that.
That's exactly right. I was just about to say, Chris, I think their friendship is one of convenience. In Molly's case, it is. It's like, no matter how fucked up I am, I got a girlfriend that's worse, right?
Right.
And in Issa's case, it's more, I got this successful friend I can lean on for money, favors, clothes. I can even maybe aspire to her life, whatever the case may be. So they've got this weird friendship of convenience and reliance on each other. One, as you mentioned, one on the failures of the other, and the other on the successes of the other. And it's odd. This is odd dynamic that, I guess it could work. I don't know how it works long term, but Sean, you might see this from a different angle. Give us the female perspective on this.
No, I don't disagree with any of that. I think those are very astute perspectives on their friendship. I do think we don't recognize that a lot of friendships are built on convenience. I don't think everybody's friendship is rooted in deep respect and deep love for each other. Like, You meet people when you are at the most undeveloped version of yourself. It's really hard to have a really whole relationship with somebody when you aren't completely developed. You're dealing with insecurities. You still have to deal with whatever traumas you had as a kid. So I think it would be disingenuous for us to say that everybody except them have really, healthy friendships from like 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. Like, yeah, we probably all, maybe not Chris, but we are probably all, if we examine some of our friendships, said,
The stories I can
really
tell
in
you.
it for the friendship.
No, I mean,
Chris
look,
is like, nah, fuck that.
no, I mean, I'll admit it. I don't do it now because I'm just too old. But there have been points throughout my life where I fake kicked it, where we weren't friends, but we were friendly enough. We were cool enough. And, we fake kicked it. It might have been like, oh, okay, cool. This person moves in the same circles I do. So why not? But this isn't somebody who I would chop it up with one-on-one. I never called them friends, and I don't think I led them to believe that I considered them a friend, and vice versa. I mean, it's not like people are out, they were gunning to be my friend. I don't think that was the case either. But, the older you get, I know somebody. I almost called him a friend, but he's not one. And he has a saying, and truer words have never been spoken. And he was like, "You can't make old friends. You can't make old friends." So, I'm 50 years old, right? So for me, an old friend would be, maybe elementary school, maybe high school. So if we're not friends, if we weren't friends back then, and, we probably are, in fact, there's no probably to it, we're not friends now. And if we were friends, but something happened in the intervening period to change that, we're not friends now because, and I know Black people love to present that we don't care about anything and that nothing phases us. We're too cool for school. But hear me when I say I don't care. There's so many priorities that I have in my life that people who I'm not friends with for whatever reason just doesn't rate the list. I don't care.
But yeah, you weren't like that at 20 though. Well, I assume, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know you were 20.
Oh, but I was.
Yeah, I'm like, have you met me? Have I given you any indication?
I apologize, man.
No, it's cool. But I mean, I've been like this since I was 6. I mean, like, there's really no changing happening over here. People call me a loner, whatever. I mean, I don't want to digress and start talking about me. The point is, I don't believe that Molly and Issa had a friendship to begin with. I think their relationship was symbiotic, as Brian has described. And so when that relationship comes under stress, it frays. And I think that's what happened with those two.
I don't know. I don't buy the idea that they were never really friends. I do think their friendship was not built on the things that make friendships last. I would definitely agree with that kind of ideology. But the milestones of friendship, I think, were there. You share secrets with them. You rely on them. You support them. We've seen them do that even in their fucked upness and even in their trauma. They support each other. They're there for each other. They share their secrets. They keep their secrets. And those are milestones in a friendship.
Whoa. They keep their secrets.
What? Yeah.
Hold on. Let's never forget broken pussy. Let's never forget broken pussy.
Yeah,
those are not secrets kept.
And wasn't that first episode?
That was the first.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And I didn't even appreciate just how foul that was until I watched it again. And I was like, this chick went on stage with her there.
Yeah.
Mid-conversation with a dude.
And she was getting it too. Like, she wasn't nervous or tentative about it. Like, she was
At
moving
all.
about broken pussy. And I'm like, wow, with friends like that, you know? Like,
and that shit went viral. So let's not
Yeah,
forget that either.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, the secret part's a little shaky, but all the other milestones stay in.
But I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you with this, Sean, and then we're gonna move to the next thing. Sure, they shared each other's secrets, and they were, even when they were mad at each other. That time they were in Palm Springs, and Lawrence was like, I'm coming to the crib, and Molly, and they weren't even speaking, and everybody was like, girl, I ain't driving back to no fucking LA. And Molly got in a car, it wasn't even her car, and drove her back, just to see that Lawrence had moved all this shit out. Yes, they support each other, but I would challenge you this. They didn't really have many options.
There was the four of them, and they were really two sets of two. I don't disagree with that. So
one's married with, a whole husband, and we already know how wrapped up she is in that. And the other's Kelly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I love fucking Kelly. So let's shift gears and talk about that. So first episode, I think, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's a setup episode. I think it's setting the tone, it's setting the tenor, it's figuring out where these relationships are going. It showed what I did like about this episode is that it showed a deeper side to Kelly. Kelly's usually the punchline. Kelly's usually the comic relief, which I think she's comfortable with most of the time. But it did expand her character a little bit and give her a little bit more of, I don't always want to be the joke to you bitches. Like, I have feelings, I have emotions, I have distress, and everybody thought I was dead, and everybody thought it was kind of funny, actually. So I did like that they, now I will agree with this. My man at the end said, y'all doing the most, which was hilarious to me, because that's the whole thing I was thinking when they were doing the whole pancake candle shit. I was like, y'all are doing the fucking most right now.
Yeah.
But she needed the most in the moment. So I'm gonna let them have that. But I'm gonna switch gears real quick off this episode and speaking some generalities. Let me ask this: what are you guys hoping for this season? What do you hope happens? What character development? What storylines? What are you hoping at the end of this final season these characters wind up? Chris, start with you.
I hope that Issa reaches a state of self-actualization. I really badly want that for her. I want her to arrive at a moment of clarity where she understands, this is whom I am, this is what it's going to be, and I'm going to go with this. Because, I mean, again, the name of the show is Insecure, and, she demonstrates why that is. I want her to finally take the bridge to being secure. I think she's old enough. I think she's done enough. And, I hate to say this because it's cliche, but it is what it is. You, as Denzel said, and I think it was American Gangster, you are who you are in this world, and this is who you are. So I want her to accept that, find that. And I think she's close, but find that and accept that. I want Amanda Seals' character. What's the girl's name on the show?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah. I want Tiffany to find a purpose in life other than just standing around looking pretty. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I'm
you want a lot for 6 episodes, 6 30-minute episodes. Just so we
I want her to find all she does is sit around or stand around and look pretty. That's it. Like, is there no
and be married?
And be married. Lawrence.
And wear false letters. Sorry. Never mind.
But did you peep though? They only hit you with the A and then
the K. That's right. I don't think the whole K.
Yeah, they only hit you with that. And then Lawrence, man, I want Lawrence to move on.
Please.
No, really. I mean, you've nursed this, whatever this thing is that you're doing with Issa now for the duration of the show. Okay. You started from the bottom. Now you're here. Move on. You both have gotten everything that you're going to get out of the other person. It is glaringly obvious that you do not belong together, because if you did, you would be together by now. So I want him to move on, get some business. So those are my hopes, however dark and negative, for this season of Insecure.
Okay.
Yikes.
I don't think they're dark at all, my brother. Sean?
As I just pointed out, it's 6 30-minute episodes, so I don't know how many hopes and dreams I could have for such a limited period of time. Opposite of Chris, I actually do hope Issa and Lawrence can figure it out. I think, and I'm gonna say
Why?
something slightly
Let me ask, why? Why do you hope they can figure it out?
because I feel like this baby isn't as big of a hurdle as they're both making it out to be.
Whoa.
Like I don't. I don't.
Rando babies, not a hurdle?
First of all, he didn't have it on her. They weren't together when Condola got pregnant. So it's not like he cheated on her.
Okay.
Rando.
No.
That was it. This is something. Look, as a grown up, and I'm not a stepmom, right? I don't have any step kids, but there are plenty of parents out there who have bonus children, stepchildren. This is in the same vein of that. Like you just have another person you got to include in your relationship.
Is it?
No.
Is it the same?
Yes.
No.
I never have to include any other kid in my relationship. I mean, are you kidding me?
I mean, you don't have to, but if you're going to take on that person, then you have to take on that kid. That's a part of the package.
And maybe
Then
she
guess
doesn't
what?
want to do that.
I'm not going to take on the person. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And
Wait a minute, I thought we were talking about my hopes and dreams, not
Wait a
Chris's
minute, hold on.
hopes and dreams.
I want to ask her. Let's dive into this. So she has to choose the man she loves, right? But he has a whole baby with another woman that he was dating. Now, not while they were together per se, but there was a back and forth, right? So now you've got this infant, not a 3-year-old, not a 14-year-old, not an infant that is in his life, which means it's in your life. So you're not only taking on him, you're taking on an infant.
I said what I said. God damn it.
I'm just saying I get her hesitation.
No, I'm not saying I don't understand her hesitation. I fully do. Right? She has no kids. They not married. They've been back together for 5 seconds. Like I totally get it. But I also think people tend to make things bigger than what they are. Like this is not an unworkable situation. If he had a heroin addiction, that is an unworkable situation. There's
kick
no
heroin.
way to figure that out.
Wait, hold on. It's easier to kick heroin than it is to get rid of a damn baby.
But my point is, this is not an insurmountable, unobtainable, unfigure-outable situation. You can figure that out.
Nothing's insurmountable unless the motherfucker's dead. So you can figure anything out.
Drug addiction, you can't work that
Rehab,
out.
hello.
But what if they don't want to go to rehab?
Then
you can't work it out.
Well, then you better start smoking crack with them. It'd be a joint. All right, so you want them to work it out.
Outside of that, I just want to see I do not want to see another rehash of last season. I feel like last season was, I'm going to use Chris's words, was a bit of a snooze and super random with a lot of stuff that was happening, like the Tiffany thing. Even though I got it, it was very random. The buildup wasn't as good as it could have been, and then all of a sudden she was in postpartum. I want to see them do a better job of tying up these bows for these characters, and whatever that's going to be. And I wouldn't mind Tiffany cursing them all out one good time. That'd be fun.
Really?
Why is Tiffany cursing them out?
Yeah, but not Tiffany. Sorry,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say that's an interesting take. All right. Okay.
I saw her in my mind because they all need it. They do use her at the butt of a joke, and they all need a good reminder of why they need to take her. I don't want to say more seriously, but take her position in their life more seriously. She's not there to be the comedic relief all the time. She should genuinely be their friend. They should be genuinely concerned about her. And granted, this is a 30-minute episode. Who knows what happens in the fictional lives of these characters? But from what we see, she, in my opinion, doesn't seem like an actual friend. She's more there for entertainment for them.
Well, shit. If you're gonna go that route, all these friendships are friendships of convenience in some way, shape, or form. Although I still don't see why they're friends with Tiffany. I don't get her piece of the puzzle. Like, what does she bring to the table? But
Nothing.
Not a goddamn
She's
thing.
just a wife and an AK.
And now a mother. Oh no, she did. She was like a marketing exec though, because she works with Condola. Yeah, so
that's how they met. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this is what I'm hopeful for. I hope that Issa and Lawrence are now done. I hope that's a wrap. I hope Lawrence goes back to Condola, who was the far superior option anyway, and raises his child, and they have a family.
I don't like Condola either.
What the fuck you got? What did Condola do?
Did you not watch her last season or whatever season they were together?
She just wasn't really into Lawrence. That wasn't
exactly.
Cause
Why
Lawrence
you want
Because Lawrence
Why
is
you want him to
goofy.
go be with a woman that don't want him?
Yeah.
I think he could figure that shit out. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
How you gonna figure out being with somebody who don't want to be with you?
a child changes
let's back up.
things.
So you can figure out a child by another
Right.
woman.
Yes.
But you can't figure out a relationship with the mother of your child.
That's not what I said.
That's
Let
what
me
you just
repeat
said.
what I said.
That's
What I
what you
said was
just
you
said.
cannot. No, I did not. What I said was you cannot figure out a relationship with somebody who does not want to be with you.
But
Now,
you
if
can
you can
figure it out,
explain to me
though.
how to do that, then okay.
Feelings change.
Hey, you can figure that out. I mean, look, she's a rational person. She's gonna do the math and choose McGrath. She's gonna be like, okay, look, this is the father of my child. You know, maybe I can work on some things with him. Maybe there's some things about him that I don't like. Because Lawrence is a goofy. I mean, let's be clear.
Goof.
I rock with Lawrence, but he is a heavy grade goofy.
Goof.
You can be coached out of that.
You can grow out of that. I agree. You can be coached out of that. And I think what her part of her problem was, from my estimation, was that he was a little pressed about her when she wasn't as pressed. So they weren't.
Yeah.
The worst thing a man can do is love a woman more than she love him. That shit don't work.
Ooh,
And he was more into her than she was into him. And she was like, I think now that they got the playing field's a little more even and they have this life depending on them, I think that these things can be worked out.
I think you all underestimate the stresses of a baby on a couple.
That
have the baby.
I know exactly what the stresses are. Stop it.
Then you understand if emotions are already high between the people and you introduce another stressor that heightens that, you have to be a certain set of people to get past that.
Agreed. And I'm not saying they'll work out in the long run. What I'm saying is I know him and Issa don't work, and he should give this a shot. And she should give him a shot.
They don't work.
They don't work.
Do not work.
They just don't work.
Those two don't work.
Molly. Oh, Molly. I hope Molly continues counseling. I don't need Molly to be in anybody's relationship at the end of this. I just need Molly to be in a healthier space in her own head.
I would agree with that.
That's all I really hope and wish for Molly. Just get in a healthier space in your own head. Kelly, I hope Kelly gets a man. And I hope Kelly says, fuck all you bitches and become one of them women that, like, when they get a man, you don't see him no more. I hope that's what happens. And then they'll miss Kelly and appreciate her for who she is. As my cousin Jatan said in the chat, she is the glue of this whole crew. And they will miss her when she is not around.
She is the glue. She is the glue.
She's the glue.
Yo,
totally agree.
You know, can I append my
Absolutely, sir.
You know what I wish they would do? I need them to bring back my dog, Chad.
Where the fuck has Chad been?
I need my dog back. Chad
Ain't he married? Ain't he married somewhere in Malibu?
Did he get engaged? I don't know if he ever married that girl.
Oh, that's right. He got caught cheating, and she
that's
did.
right.
But we gotta bring Chad back. Every man has or needs a Chad in his circle.
Why do you need a Chad? Chad isn't a complete. You know what? Never mind.
Because Chad keeps it a buck.
Chad is a completely bad influence.
Everybody needs one of those.
All right.
The only way you know you are in a you can stand the stressors of a relationship or be put to. You need somebody that's going to put you to the test.
Hey, I think, look, at a certain point, there are no bad influences. There are just bad decisions.
Exactly. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do.
You know,
I mean, that's totally fair.
So all Chad does is present options.
Yeah,
you pick them.
I'm presenting it's an option. You could go left or you could go right. Don't be mad at me. Accept responsibility for the choice that you made, bruh. Right. Chad is my dog. I mean, he keeps it loose. He keeps it a buck. You know, he's somebody who you can sound off to. He's not going to judge you. Now, he did blow Lawrence off when he was on the couch struggling.
He's not going to judge you. Didn't he rip into Lawrence for driving a 92 Jag?
No,
he's like, motherfucker, you need a range.
Well, no, I consider that motivation because your guy used to tell you, like, say, bro, you need.
That's right.
Like, you can't be out here, foul like that. I mean,
that's right. Your boys got to let you know you out here in this Jetta. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're cool with that, but I know that you're not cool with that. Get your shit together. So no, I don't. You need that from your guys, and your guys can talk to you like that. Whereas an associate, a woman can't necessarily say that to you, but your guy can be like, "Come on, man, get your shit together. What you doing, man? You got to move out your mom's house, get a
Gots
job,
to.
get a car, clean up your credit, pay your child support, be a man. Only a man can communicate that to another man.
All right.
100% agree. I mean, well, anybody can communicate it to him. That don't mean it's gonna be heard
Right, exactly.
and accepted and received. So yeah, that's Chad's role. Chad is a fucking hilarious.
That's my dog.
Maybe
Yeah.
Chad and Kelly should get together
Oh, I can't see
No.
it.
No.
for one episode. Can we see them together
Yeah,
for one
no,
episode?
No, I can't see it because I mean, look, Chad is my dog, and maybe it's because he's hella shallow. Like that would never happen. Like, come on, can you
Never.
see? Because Chad thinks he's that guy.
Chad is
Okay.
that guy. But did you see Kelly throw that
And-
leg up though?
I said I was going to walk in Christ for this episode. So, I'm gonna stay on that path. I love the Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will say, I want to take your take on Molly too. I do want Molly to keep growing because I could see the growth in her in this episode, and I could see that she was trying to move past a lot of what she was doing the last few seasons. So I want her to continue that.
Can
I
you
also
really?
want her to give the Asian man a chance. I liked him a lot.
she did try to give him a chance. He cut that back.
No,
She
was
fucked that
so-
up.
She
she
fucked it
did.
up,
He
but he
totally
was giving her
fucked
all
that
the
up.
chances.
Yeah,
He was
I
giving
mean,
her all the chance. She just fucked it up.
when he was trying to, get her to reconcile with his brother, and she was like, "Well, I just don't think you should invite me if it makes me uncomfortable." I was like, "Bro, cancel her right
Done.
now.
Dead.
Cancel her, right? Because that's your brother.
Catch a separate
Like,
flight. Get out of
You're
there.
not gonna be in his life and not at least be cordial to his brother. Like, get out of here." And the irony that Molly, who, if we'll recall, started out lamenting black men who married and dated out of the race, wound up with a guy out of the race, and that relationship failed. I mean,
Right.
you want to talk about a story arc of irony, there it is. And I just don't think Molly knows how to be happy. I think she is congenitally unhappy. And she's emotionally incompetent. We see that throughout. She can't have a functional relationship with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And some folks can't be saved. And I think Molly is unsalvageable. I really do. I don't think there's any potential for redemption there. She is a trash human being.
Wow.
She's trash.
There's no 18-letter word for trash.
Basura. AIS basura.
Basura.
Payasa. Yeah. Like
I hate thinking that Molly is completely unredeemable. I think this first episode, I think I could see her I could see the growth in her. Even the little tiny bit, I could see it.
When she got robbed?
No,
when was the growth?
It was like small moments, like when her and Issa were talking and the way that they were communicating. I don't think she ever really wanted to hear Issa's opinion, and she looked her in the face and said, "I want your opinion," and received Issa's opinion about the Q dude. I think the way, even though I said the whole Kelly thing, I didn't think was realistic.
Wait, what Q dude? Was he supposed to be a Q?
Remember earlier in the I think he was a Q.
I thought they were dogging the Qs.
They
was
were.
Because they said their parties. Well, yes,
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah, so I don't think he was a Q.
But I
Anyway.
thought
Whoever he was,
I know who you're talking about.
him. And I think even talking to Kelly, it wasn't in a space of like talking shit, like I said, most of us would actually do. She was genuinely asking her, like, how much longer do I expect for this to be awkward? So I think she is trying to be more of a space of, receiving what people have to say to her genuinely and then processing that and see what she can do with that. I think we just saw very tiny moments of it.
I agree.
I agree with fair. Do that.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Sean. I think when they were walking and talking, she mentioned her counselor a couple of times and being in the moment and not being in her own head. And generally, Molly just like rambles about Molly. And I saw her catch herself and then turn that conversation back to Issa and about what was happening with Issa. Whereas in the past, she would not have done that. It would have just been a ramble about Molly and what's going on with her. But she caught herself in that moment where she was slipping down that slope and and turn the conversation back towards what was happening with Issa. So I agree with you there. I think there
Okay,
were
that's
little
fair.
moments
That's
where she showed some potential growth. Now, Molly is a habitual backslider. We don't know if that's just gonna last. So we'll see moving forward. But I hope she does move forward in this space and can keep it up and it is salvageable, Chris. I know you say she's not, but I hope that she can be salvaged.
Yeah.
Well, keep hope alive.
And well, that's what Jesse said, right? That's what Jesse said.
Yeah,
All right, so
keep
who
hope
is? Let me
alive.
ask you all this: who is your favorite character? It could be a
I feel
side
like we got to
character.
take Kelly out of the running because I feel like everybody would pick Kelly.
I'm not picking Kelly.
Chris, you got to answer.
I'll defer to you.
I honestly don't like anybody.
Wow.
Again, taking the obvious people out, Kelly and Chad. If I remove them out of the pickings, I genuinely don't like anybody.
Yikes.
Last season really just made me dislike everybody. Like,
Wow.
maybe Derek. I like Derek. There you go. I like Derek.
You're generally more upbeat than that. I'm surprised you took that route. But
Right,
I get,
me too. I'm shocked
I
here.
get, I get, yeah, I'm a little bit. I wasn't really ready for that, but I get why you would say that. You know, I'm gonna maybe slightly contradict myself, but I'll explain why. Lawrence is my favorite character
Okay.
because Lawrence, for better or for worse, holds a mirror up to black men. There is some part of Lawrence in most, and I mean like 90% of black men. I mean, look, on paper, he's not horrible. I mean, look, he's college educated, but then he was out of a job. So he's down on his luck. And he's trying, so he's on the couch while his woman is going to work. That does
Well,
something.
wait, hold on. He was creating a woohoo or the woo-woo.
Hey,
What the fuck was
that
that?
after 3 years?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And he was also recording an album, because he was running his car wash. Like, it's always that. But no, seriously, like that does something to a man. It causes you to reflect. I certainly have been down on my luck before, and it's not a good feeling. And, eventually he got up, and he started doing his thing. And then, by the time the end of season 4 rolls around, this guy is interviewing for a role in San Francisco. He came from a good home. He's sitting up there talking to his father in the airport. His father is just like, yeah, so what's up with you and Issa? And he's just like, it's really nothing is up. And his father was just like, man, because you young people don't want to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lawrence is just like, well, I want to love like you and mom had. And Buddy was just like, have you met your mother? Like, you don't think it's work? Like,
right.
This is
easy?
hard work. Yeah, so, and I think Lawrence absorbed that. I think he really took that to heart. So there's so many things about Lawrence that I relate to. And I think ultimately Lawrence is a good dude. Like all of us, Lawrence has made some mistakes and some bad choices. But let me tell you what sealed it for me. Season 4, episode 8, which I think the name of the episode is Low Key Happy, but I call it the no eggshells episode. That's when Lawrence and Issa were in the restaurant. She showed up, she falls on her face, which is completely appropriate for her. But that conversation, that dialogue that they had, I mean, even the camera angles, everything about that episode was dope. And I mean, they laid it all out. And it was just like, so why not us? What happened? And, if you're a man, you're lying if you say you've never had that thought about a woman, that it didn't work out with. You're like, damn. And maybe you're romanticizing it. Maybe you've got this idealized view of what happened after the fact. That's easy to do. But, he was just like, so why not us? Why not us? So, and the way he was kind of playing with her at the end, like when she bumped into the TSA cat and he ran up on her like, brat, brat. And then he played her like he was going to walk away. And she was just like, wow, what happened? And then he hit her with that. Like, it was just so, it had a Love and Basketball-esque quality to it. So Lawrence, as deeply flawed as he is, and yeah, he's a goofy, no question about it. but he's harmless. I think he means well. He's kind of an every black man. So that's my favorite character.
I love that, Chris. And let me say that episode you just talked about, and we might not even get to this category. Maybe we'll, maybe we won't. Is my favorite episode of the series.
Yeah.
The way that the background noise fades out while they're talking, and all you can hear is their conversation, and then eventually, when the waitress interrupts them, it fades back in.
Yes.
I mean, that episode is so excellently done, from the camera angles, as you mentioned, to the conversation, to that episode is amazing. That's my favorite episode. And yeah, Lawrence, 100% grade A goofy. You can pick him up in the store half price. You know what I'm saying? He is a goof, but he is harmless. And I think, as much as everybody, and we've had these debates 100 times with different folks. Oh, Lawrence ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, Lawrence got cheated on, right? Lawrence went out there, tried to be a whore. It was not in him, which is why he was so bad at it, which is why he failed at the threesome and all that other shit.
That's not him. That is not him.
He fucked up with Tasha, not in that he should have been with Tasha, but that he couldn't even, he was doing boyfriend shit when he shouldn't have been, which is where Tasha was getting a misinterpretation of who he was and where they were going, completely on him, but completely because he's not built any way different. He doesn't know any other way to operate, even in a non-relationship, right? So, yes, and he was sitting on the couch, whatever, but he was still paying the bills, clearly. He still had his little jag. He was doing his thing. So he wasn't just sitting on the couch not doing, like, he was getting unemployment, whatever he was doing. He was still he still had money in the bank because Tasha said, "Yo, you still got some money." Blah blah blah. So yeah, he's a flawed character, but I don't think at the end of the day he's a bad guy. As you mentioned, as you said so eloquently, he represents a lot of what we go through as black men in certain stages. Not 100%, not all the way through, but a lot of it. I won't say he's my favorite character, but I'm not Team Lawrence, so I don't want anybody to say that shit either. But I don't think Lawrence. I think Lawrence gets a bum rap, is what I'm saying.
So, who is your favorite character?
My favorite character. You know what? This is gonna sound fucking crazy. It's Molly, and let me tell you why. Let me break this down for you.
You've been hard on her the last 2 years.
I'm hard. You know who I'm hardest on? I'm hardest on the people I love, and let me. I am. Molly is fucked up in so many ways, right? Like she's got issues beyond issues beyond issues. But there's something about her character and her lack of awareness occasionally, but this vulnerability still, like when she does realize she's fucking up, the look the disappointment she has in herself is so self-evident that I feel her in those moments, as rare as they may be.
Oh my God.
I do. And maybe this is personal. Maybe I relate to this. I think I'm the shit 95% of the time, but that 5%, I can look at myself and say, ooh, yeah, dog, that wasn't it. So maybe I'm kind of projecting my shit on O'Malley, but she's the character, not in every way, but in a lot of ways I kind of relate to the most, and I kind of hope the most for. Now, I will say this. I give Issa a lot of shit, and people think I'm, you got to pick a Team Island PBs. I think Issa's got a lot of potential and has some shit that's happening with her that goes deeper than the show even can delve into. So, like with Molly, for example, her parents are going, like she finds out her dad cheated on her mom.
Yeah.
And she's already kind of fucked up behind with relationships, which is crazy considering her parents are still together in a certain aspect. But this just solidifies her fucked upness. She's like, oh, Jesus, if dad can cheat on mom, whatever. Even though she's been with Dro, who had a whole wife, but that's another conversation.
Dro is my dog.
Dro, old Doug Christie, look at that.
The biggest fuckboy of the show, Dro.
I was gonna give him French Montana, but
okay, that's fair.
Christie, yeah.
That's fair.
No, I don't think Dro was at all a fuckboy. Now, I mean, he wasn't exactly what most women would like, but I don't know if he was a fuckboy. I mean, he was out here wild. He was living the lifestyle.
He was.
And,
my only issue with Dro would be, let me say this, because we don't know if this is true nor false. If he was fronting on the open relationship shit,
yeah,
that's trash.
And you know what? I think
But he wasn't,
was.
because remember,
I think he
called
was.
her. He
I
called
think
his
he
wife.
was.
Called him while he was there. She knew. So
No, she knew that he was at Molly's, but remember him and Molly been cool for years. They went to high school together. There's no reason she would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, B. Foss. I think he fronted on that. And if you're going to be in the lifestyle, then be all the way in the lifestyle. If you're lying, then you're not in the lifestyle. You're lying.
You're lying. But if he was keeping that a buck, then I got zero issues with Dro.
Yeah, agree.
my only issue with Dro, it wasn't even like the open relationship thing, because that is what it is. He does the classic fuckboy shit where you start doing little boyfriend things. You're bringing me flowers. You're doing this. You're asking for a key. But then when I start asking about where is this going? Well, wait. I said...
That's not fuckboy shit. Why can't you take the benefits of this relationship knowing we're not going to be in a relationship?
I'm waiting for you to get to the fuckboy action.
That's fuckboy. That's fuckboy tendency.
No,
fuckboy
you know
is no, that's bullshit.
Player shit. Like
that's
hey,
right.
Look, I mean, for real. Because
okay.
why not? Why not buy you flowers? I'm digging you. I'm here in the moment. I like
exactly.
You. I want you to have these flowers. Yo, I'm digging what we're doing when we party naked. So yeah, here's a key. I want a key. It's convenience. That's not fuckboy shit. Because if he wasn't doing that, then it would be, oh well, he's indecisive or he's tentative or he says he's feeling me, but his actions aren't supporting that.
Or he just uses me for the booty, right? So,
right. Yeah.
That was the whole point.
But what he's doing is he's keeping it. He's keeping it a buck. He's saying, listen,
keeping it a buck.
This cannot go beyond this. But when we're in these moments, I'm all about you.
Yeah.
And what's so wrong with that?
Nothing.
Now, if you catching feelings and you taking it beyond what I've told you what's going to be, then maybe you a fuck girl. How about that?
What? Yeah.
Yes, let's go with that, shall we?
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? He kept it a buck. There's no reason to be, shitty about it. Like, we're digging each other. I'm not promising you that this is going to be anything else. But let's not worry about that.
Let's not worry about that.
Let's focus on the here and now.
Enjoy this moment in time. When I'm with you, I'm with you. And when I'm not,
with you.
I am not.
I'm not. Right.
And if I'm telling you that from jump.
Yeah. And Chantel,
I really lean on that, but okay.
This isn't aimed at you, but I think the reason that some women consider that fuckboy behavior is because they don't like that they're not controlling the shit. They're not calling the shots. And so whenever a woman is not calling the shots, that's fuckboy shit.
I'm gonna let you have that because that's not. Look, I will say this. Is there a subset of women that could be true? Sure.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. In the grand scheme, those kind of mixed signals just muddy the waters. It makes it unclear what's happening. And for the most part, women do not like to sit in unclarity. They just don't.
So why keep fucking him then?
I don't understand what's unclear. I've told you what this
is.
But
why keep fucking him though? Like, let's talk about that. Like, if the waters are muddy and we're unclear, then why fuck him?
Why not get out the muddy water?
Because the dick is good. Why are we asking stupid ass questions? I don't understand.
Okay, all right, okay.
I mean, that's the answer, right?
I think you called it fuck girl behavior. I think I'm gonna go with that.
Girl behavior.
That's
fine.
Behavior.
I'm not getting no stories about me, but fine.
I don't like what's happening, but I like the dick, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's right.
And then I'm gonna get mad at him.
Like, and then I'm gonna blame him because the dick is good.
Yeah, like come on now, knock it off.
That's not what I said at all, but okay.
That's basically what you said.
No, that's the definition y'all gave it. But that's fine.
I will give you this, Sean, and we veer completely off, and I don't even care. I will give you this. There are fuckboys, and there is fuckboy behavior.
Yes,
100%. I don't think what you're saying it is that though.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, B-Boss, let me throw it to you. At any point in any situation with a woman, have you been a fuckboy?
Absolutely. 100%.
This is why you're my guy.
100%. Shit, multiple times.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
I
multiple
absolutely
times.
I'm talking all caps. 72-point sans serif font. Fuck boy. Yes.
Fuck. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have been that guy, and sometimes I knew I was being a fuck boy in the moment.
You didn't give a fuck?
100% knew in the moment. There are women I walk by today on the street that I have full blown, well, I won't say full blown, but relationships with that don't speak to me, and I understand why, and I don't blame them.
Understand why. I wouldn't speak to me either.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Like, fuck me. Yup, you're right.
Yep, you are exactly right. There are women that hang out with me to this day that I don't understand why. I'm like, why are you even speaking to me? I don't even get how we cool. This doesn't make any rational sense. But you are forgiven soul, and God bless you.
Right. Okay, that's good shit. Okay.
I respect that. I appreciate you guys are owning your fuckboy behavior.
Are you going to own your fuck girl behavior, though?
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, first of all, wait a minute. Let's define some shit, right? What is a fuck girl behavior?
Oh gosh.
Blaming a dude for being honest with you, and then because he treats you halfway nice, saying he's a fuck boy.
No. No.
You're not owning that?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Stop.
No, I don't. Have I done shitty things? For sure, I've cheated on people. I've been shitty in relationships, 1000%, and I can understand. Well, I take it back because any dude I've dated, they all still speak to me. So clearly, whatever I did wasn't Michael Myers level heinous. But yeah, I can definitely admit I have been a piece of shit in relationships for sure, 1000%.
All this honesty pouring forth.
I know. I'm telling you, my cup is full. I don't even know what to do with this right now.
God is good, isn't he? Wow. This is wow. Okay.
Jamal, circling back to your question 20 minutes ago, we were talking about Chad. Chad is Lawrence's boy that is always talking slick. So anyway,
right, light skinned cat.
Oh, he's like, who is that?
With the little mohawk occasionally. So
yeah, I think he was a real estate agent or something.
Yeah, he is.
Because he said he sold Todd Gurley a house. Yeah, so that's what he was.
He sure did.
Yeah.
So we only got a few minutes left. We didn't hit a couple things, and that's fine. We veered off into a topic I'm completely fine discussing. Chantel's.
Fuck that next show.
So let me ask this. Let me ask guys. Should we do now? We can't do it every week here. Obviously, I've got other topics I've got coming up, but maybe we should do a little 30-minute cast every. Well, let's say Tuesday. Give people a couple days to watch. Will we break down episodes? Y'all down for that?
I'm
I
down.
like it.
I'm down.
And we'll drag Erica back in, assuming she can get her household in order.
Yeah, she's going through it. She had some difficulties this evening.
We missed you today,
Technical
E.
difficulties.
We missed you today, E. So final thoughts. The season, the series, least favorite character, whatever. Any final thoughts you want to put out there about Insecure? Let's get them out in these next 5. Sean.
I hope they don't jump the shark. I really hope they don't jump the shark. I hope they really button up the season nicely. And I want them to do better because I realized the liquor store thing was to get laughs. And I also realized the Kelly thing was to get laughs, but I want them to have better plot devices to get laughs than things like that.
Yeah. And let me say this too. Once I know that she knows a dude, I ain't running shit. Maybe you can have this liquor, but that's all you getting. If you shoot me, we know who the fuck you are, where you live. Like, stop it. You ain't
I agree. I would have picked that shit up and walked away. Like,
get the fuck. It's 2 other motherfuckers in the car that know who you are. Stop it. Anyway,
and am I to accept that this chick went to Stanford? Is that what they want me to buy?
I guess that's what they want us to believe.
Like she went to Stanford? I doubt it, but okay.
I guess Stanford
Chantel, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut. Right. They must have like a Olive Harvey branch.
Yeah, they
you know,
they gotta have
no disrespect to Olive Harvey, right?
I went to Olive Harvey, just so we clear.
Did you?
I did.
You also graduated from Bogan, so I mean, you know.
I did not go to Bogan.
Did people still call it Oliver Harvey? Remember that?
First of all, the only people that call Oliver Harvey were Kennedy King.
Oh wow! Now we're doing.
You had a rivalry with Kennedy King.
Classism.
The classism.
College classism.
Yes.
Not even college, junior college classism.
Yeah.
You know what?
but no,
I don't need all this university level hate. People got to go to community college too.
It's fine.
No doubt. No
It's
doubt.
I got some community college credits under my belt.
Especially now, yeah. Chantel, I think you hit it out the park when you said I don't want it to jump the shark. I am glad that this is the last season. I think they've taken this as far as it can go.
I agree.
As far as it needs to go. In fact, you could make the case
Shelly.
that they could have kept it. They could have just ended it after last season with maybe one more episode. So I just appreciate the show for what it represents, which I think is premium grade Black entertainment. This is an unapologetically Black show. It is intended for Black people, and I appreciate that. And if you didn't know that after the first episode, I don't know what episode you saw. I mean, we got y'all, this nonprofit with all these well-meaning white people, and Issa looking around like, so are we really going to have them picking up trash on the side of the road and, going to sports? Like, it's a Black show, and I appreciate that. We need more Black entertainment that's just for us. I appreciate them for that. I like what they've done with it. I think it was high quality, the production value, the photography, the music. The music is always dope.
Raphael
Always.
Sadiq? What?
Right. I mean, you can't beat that. So, hat tip to Issa Rae. I mean, let's not forget, this is her baby. So hat tip to her, hat tip to HBO. I really appreciate them for this. But it's time to let this go.
Yeah, I concur with you all. I think you're exactly right. It's run its course. Not to mention, if you were watching like Awkward Black Girl, like when Issa Rae was doing the shit, just her little webcast or whatever, and she was putting those episodes out, which I did from the beginning. So you had many of those, and then you had it spun off into this show, and I'm glad that HBO gave her a shot.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad she's taken that shot and run with it, and it has become a power broker in a white male Jewish dominated industry. Super excited for her and everybody that's on the cast. I do hope. I'm glad that it's only 6-7 episodes, so they don't have a whole lot of time to fuck around. Let's get to this and put a bow on some of these things and let folks grow without jumping the shark, with Fonzie jumping the water skis over the shark is where that came from. So yeah, I'm super excited.
A lot of people don't know that.
Don't know that, right? They don't know where the term
they
comes
have
from.
no idea because they're I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the season. I'm sad to see it go because Chris, as you said, now we're left with 16 power books and I don't even know what else like quality Black. I guess we got the Wonder Years. Quality Black entertainment is far and few in between. I've seen a couple episodes.
We got BMF. Like, you're not down with BMF?
What the hell is BMF?
That's okay. Well, there's my answer. Okay, you're not down with BMF.
I don't even know what that is. Should I be there?
Brandy got a new show. There's other Black shows.
Oh, come on. No, come on, man. I'm not. No, Brandy's. No. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop
right
it.
now.
If that shit makes it 6 episodes, I'll be over under 6 episodes. All right.
Man, they could bring back Empire for that. I mean, man,
it couldn't be worse. I'm assuming.
It can't. Nothing could be worse. Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I'm glad it was a success. I wish all of them their future endeavors the best, and hopefully we get something that fills the void that was equally well produced, directed, acted, scored, all of that. That being said, we've decided here that every Tuesday we're gonna get together for 20-30 minutes and break down. Well, not here, not on this channel. We're gonna do this on my homepage. And break down the episodes after every Sunday. So you got 2 days to watch it, people. If you watch us and you talk about, why are you telling them about sports? You just don't watch us because you should have been watched. Hey, y'all, thanks for joining. I wish we could have done this in person, but I know life intervenes and folks got to do what they got to do. But I appreciate you jumping on. So sorry we couldn't do this Sunday as we planned. So I do appreciate you reconfiguring your schedule and coming back today. Next week, we'll be back here 7 o'clock. Wednesday, and then next week, what the hell? How old is too old? So I have a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, and me knocking on 50, and we're gonna have a conversation about different facets of Black life and how old you should be before you let that shit go. All right, so we're going to talk about that next week. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see you in another episode of In the Zone next week. And if you're out and about right now, go over to the Park Supper Club. We kicking it. We having drinks. I'm heading over there right now. If you want to go get a little after work cocktail, even though you've been off work for 4 hours, that's all right. Put on some shoes and some jeans and bring your ass. We're going to be there. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.